Congratulations.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Oh,
Look, here comes the fish.
Corey's been
Little
spending more
bunny
time
foo
with
foo up and
kids.
through the
Corey's been flying.
forest.
He's spending time with children.
Is that what you're making of? Wow.
Little bunny foo foo hopping through the forest,
Corey, I want your support.
picking up the field mice and popping them on the head.
I want your support in the form of how to coach Alton, Kyle, and Haley's in to being the type of facilitators that everyone around them is like danced into their greatest forms of selves. And there's someone who's going to be
I
joining.
would hope it would be their presence as human beings rather than presence as facilitators.
Okay.
That would be
The
just me,
fullness
though.
of human beings, sometimes in the facilitator role, that would result in everybody around them, yeah, having their best selves danced out of them.
Well, they have to stop taking themselves so seriously then.
And how do I notice and stop taking? I mean, often I just laugh in their face when they seem to be taking themselves seriously, but that has a certain effect.
How well does that work?
Sometimes it works very well, but I would like to have
Well,
more
it's
dynamic range. And particularly, I want your support with how we can support each other in an ecosystem of Haley's, Kyle, and Alton. Like, what do you see are our comparative advantages in supporting each other for supporting other people? That's my interest.
I do.
well,
You've known all of us for some year or two plus, but for us, like almost 4 years now. And
you all have your peculiar psychopathologies, and and the way that you guys run yourselves, your characters, where you are now, you have access to a certain range of behaviors and insights and pointing outs that can be useful, but your frontal lobes are not going to get you the kind of dances that I think you're talking about. You have to be willing to dance without really intellectually understanding what's going on. You have to focus more on not what the mechanics of the situation is, but what's the heart energy of it? What's the belly energy of it? Because I think all of you, all three of you, have very highly developed forebrains. And
okay,
that's
can you give us
gotten
some
you where it's
scaffolding?
gotten you. Hmm?
Right. Can you give us some scaffolding, like use a thorn to remove a thorn, something that could get us closer there? I get, and I agree with you. Yes, more belly based or heart based. And how will we support each other in evoking that out of other people as a team?
You have to practice evoking it with each other first. You have to
Okay.
go to the places with each other that you're scared of.
I've felt
Kate
very
Elise
supported.
needs to own her.
Mm.
Kate
Haley
Elise
came
needs
with
to
me
own her
to my
power.
family. Okay. Uh-huh. I did fully experience her owning her power yesterday too. There's a beautiful interaction.
Kate Elise, Kate Elise,
Yes,
why
sir.
is he talking?
Um, Probably filling the
Why is he
space.
talking if you're the heart of this group? If you are the heart and the loins of this group, why is he talking?
Mm. Mm.
This is what I'm talking about. For you to be able to reach the people the way that you want to reach them, she has to be willing to dance with you two in such a way that you stop being your frontal lobes.
Mm.
She was largely taking the reins for the past several exercises.
I don't know what the fuck. How do I know what's happening? All I'm saying is what's happening here. That's
Yep.
all I have.
Oh. I um mm,
It's not what you do, hate Elise. It's how you be.
mm,
Right now, how you're being has them believing that the road to success lies through their frontal lobes.
Yeah.
You know that's not true. I know that's not true. Their primary characters don't know that to be true.
Mm.
And so if you continue to be having to be led around by your nose and put into situations where you have no other choice but to get into your hips, then that makes you a victim. You have to be perked into your bigness. And so you have to find some way that you can. I don't care how you get there. Just get there and feel what it is. Know what that is. Those two, Alton at least, is saying that you've been there. And so if you can find that feeling, if you can nail it down in a couple of things, my arms are tingling, my earlobes are on fire, my heart's, beating really fast, whatever it is. If you can nail that down as an experience and say, this is what I'm looking for, then you practice getting there when somebody isn't sticking a blowtorch up your ass. Does that make sense? You guys are not going to win this game if you're relying on your old magnificences. Kyle's not going to win this game because he's incredibly analytical and can point to really tiny things. That's not how you win this game. That's not how you get into the top 10. There's a million guys out there like you two. They don't need any more coaching in how to be that. They need, and I don't even know if they're coachable, but they need to see in you.
Friends I've ever worked with. He's one of the most coachable friends I've ever worked with. It's like uncomfortable how enjoyable it is because he takes it on so fully.
Yeah, but where does he take it on from? Anybody can be a mechanic. Hades, in your opinion, is he taking it on in an embodied way? Or is he taking it on, oh, gee whiz, here's another mechanical pencil or another mechanical problem?
The answer is no, and I'm answering compassionately, like in a sense of, so I have faith that he can get there.
Okay, so
He
you need, Hades, shelve the fucking compassion.
can shove.
Shelve it.
Shelve. Your job is to set them on fire, not to be compassionate. They claim to be men. Let them own their manhood. If they can't handle being in the face of your fire, then you don't need to be interacting with them. Your compassion kills them. Your compassion poisons them. They are not little tiny children.
It was yesterday when you stood up when you wanted at least.
I noticed no one's smiling. But I was smiling.
Feeling comfortable. Excited but comfortable.
Will you try taking your hands out of your pockets for this call?
Now, Hades, can Nolan own himself?
Sure.
Take your hands out of your pocket.
You got me. You got me.
Let him own his no. In the face of you, Hades, let them own their no. He needs to practice standing up to a strong feminine who has a strong opinion. And it doesn't have to make sense. he's going to show his largeness by his ability to let you lead, not by getting your fucking permission. Hi, Nolan.
Hi. Yeah, loving the advice. Um, yeah, it's been really fun.
With,
And
with
sorry.
Hadelise, it's not advice, it is a demand.
Mm.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
I want to hear from you about ways that you see we can evoke from Nolan what you shared earlier, which is this more comfortable character suit that just has radical ownership and
Yeah.
willing
Let
to
him own his no. Push him. Set him on fire. He's going to be a lot easier with mind games than it is for physical games. If you really want to see him burn, sick some feminines on him.
yeah.
Get the feminines to dance in a non-articulated, non-verbal way with him. It's like if I was there, I would say, "Hey, Delise, teach him a dance. And when he does it wrong, slap him. Don't coach him. Don't talk to him. When he does it wrong, slap him. Don't take his head off."
Is there like a step in that direction? You want to go all the way straight to slapping?
Do you see the look on his face?
I was not checking.
Yeah, I'm fine pushing things. I think I believe I can handle it.
He's dying for non-intellectual dances. He's starving for them. I don't think again, Nolan, just remember it's an old man from another generation with his projections and his opinions. Okay. It looks like he doesn't have even baby teeth to know what that's about with feminines.
Very accurate in my view. Yeah.
And so you can feed him all the intellectual stuff you want, and that's just building his little paper castle taller and more grandiose and whatever. What he really needs to do is get in there and get his body involved, get his emotions involved. And you can't go too fast because he'll freak the fuck out. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm.
Start him out with massage. Get people he knows, get 2 women giving him a massage. Let him, don't make any agreements beforehand. He gets to walk in with avocado. So let's pretend there's Hadelise and somebody else. And he walks into a room, there's a massage table, and they tell him what to do. And he knows that he's going to be nervous about this, la, 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 la. The only thing that he can say is avocado, which means he gets up off the table and walks out. There's no talking about it. His job is to follow their lead as they give him a 35, 40-minute massage. Now, they can do whatever they want. And he gets to see how far he can go before he says avocado. He gets to have a real, live, in-person, physical interaction with 2 women way beyond his comfort zone. They're not going to kill him. They're not going to stick knives in him. They're just giving him a massage. Unless he has a skin fetish or something, then he should be okay with that. Are you anywhere near an alpha adolescent masculine, Nolan?
No. At least my interpretation of what you mean by that now.
No, not mine, yours. Like in your area of expertise, are you near the top of your particular pyramid?
Oh.
Are you a great programmer? Are you a great
Oh.
writer? Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm pretty proud of technical work I've done.
Okay. So he has expertise in a certain area. And now what you're trying to offer him is baby steps into another completely different way of being.
And it's through dance, in which case they can have the feedback loop of slapping him if he's not getting it right, and or massage where he only has his avocado with 2 women.
Yep. Oh, there's lots more you could do. I don't know how good he is at knowing what emotions he's in. There's all kinds of practices. But he's eager. He looks like he wants to play. And the very first thing that I think Nolan needs to feel is the avocado. Because there are no real lines that you can't cross. For God's sakes, there are Buddhist monks that set themselves on fire. Right? The line is yours, Nolan. You get to own the fact that for whatever reason, this is a line that nobody crosses. And you get to own that. You get to experience in your life standing up and saying, no further. This ends now because I say so. No logic, can be no emotions, whatever. It's because you say so. You get to feel what it's like to own your no. Does that make sense, Nolan?
Yeah.
And then if you want to be particularly brave, you're going to offer the most attractive woman that you know in this group, whatever your social circle is. You're going to say, I want to give you a massage. And you're going to have another woman present as a witness. And then you're going to see how far you can go before the woman that you're working on says avocado. A real live woman is going to say yes to you putting your hands on her. And she will tell you when it's done. And the other woman's going to sit there just as a witness. She says nothing. She's there as a witness. How's that, Nolan?
Really intimidating.
Good.
Yeah.
How you doing, Kyle?
Taking it in.
Says the rape victim. How was that, Alton?
That was perfect.
Oh, thank you. My aim is to please. You back to hating me, Haterlise? I hope so.
Hating people. It's our love language.
Mm. Anything else, Nolan?
Nope.
You could get this done by tomorrow evening, Nolan.
Yeah, I was going to say we could do this the next day. And then I'm like, all right, well, and then we have 3 more days.
So, really important, Alton, that from this point on, you let him fall on his face. Don't do it for him. Don't find the participants. It's going to be grossly uncomfortable for him to ask people to do these with him. Way outside his comfort zone. And he gets to learn that adults can talk about anything.
Yeah, we have some friends coming.
Male, female.
Perfect for it.
You just keep your nose out, all 3 of you, You keep your nose out of the next. If he wants to do these exercises, do not help him. Hey, Delise, if he asks you, you can say yes or no. Do not do this for him. Let him grow his own hairy balls.
Really hitting me right in the caretaker.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I wish I had some Botox for your caretaker. Words, hey, Delise.
I'm brainstorming ways, because I really want him to feel more uncomfortable or experience more discomfort. And because he
Yeah,
wants to
you just
feel
make
comfortable.
you
Hmm.
just make sure he chooses you to put his hands on, hey, Delise. You serious about wanting to make him uncomfortable? You're serious about that?
There isn't much I don't experience myself as needing to do anything for that.
Yeah, all you have to do is forget how to say avocado.
Forget how to say avocado.
Yeah. He's massaging you and you forget how to say avocado. His head will explode.
Mm. Hmm. Yep.
How's that really dark self of yours doing, Nolan, that you really don't like to look at?
Hmm.
What is he doing? I never know what he's doing.
Yeah, very excited. Um,
Just look at her, Nolan. Look at Hadelise. Nolan, turn your head. She's on the table. You have hot oil on your hands. She's naked. She's forgotten how to say avocado. What will you do? Look at him, Hadelise. Hadelise, look at him. Look at his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what this little adolescent masculine is thinking about. Be okay with it. Let him see you be okay with it. You're a fully grown, fully embodied feminine. You have no shame. Yeah, that. And you, Nolan, because you're Nolan, you probably have no idea what's going on with her, do you?
yeah, I mean, I'm
No.
projecting things, but
Yeah.
no idea.
Well, good. You have a lot to talk about after the massage. Because remember, adults can talk about anything. La-di-da.
I'm
Self-stimulating, are you?
looking forward to being an adult one day. That'd be nice.
Theoretically. So this is what we're doing, really? We're sitting here now? Okay. Uh, how's the spanking landing, Hadelise?
Too gentle.
That's you're saying be gentle?
too gentle.
Oh, really?
I
Don't
like it
push
rough,
me,
a little bit
Annalise.
more chaotic, a
If
little
that were
bored.
true, if that was true, you'd be taking him off to the massage room right now, yelling at some feminine to come and be a goddamn witness.
There's nothing about his way of being right now that makes me want to do that.
It's not about,
It's
you're supposed to be being the model, you idiot.
giving him feedback.
You're supposed to, you're supposed to be giving him the model of how to be with this, how to be with danger. I know it's not dangerous to you. But he's the client. He's the one who's like, you guys seem to have something really, really cool going on here. I want to play. And so you show him what it's like to play, regardless of what the heck you're feeling. Really, do you think I want to be here? Do you think this is like really exciting for me, Adelaise? Do you think do you think this you is the thing that I'm interested in? This little wet piece of wood and couldn't catch fire, freaking napalm was poured over it. This is what I mean by you guys. You guys have to show up as if this is the most fucking amazing thing you've ever done. You're taking people into a place they will never get on their freaking own. Now, granted, you look over at Nolan and it's like, spaghetti's got more personality here. Cooked spaghetti has more personality. But it's not this. This isn't what you're interested in right now. It's what he can become. When they walk through the doors, they're not even white belts yet. If you judge them on your level of skill, you're never going to get anybody. You have to look at these people and say, what could be? What could be if I showed up in a certain way? Yeah, slouching in a chair. There's nothing going on here that could possibly raise my interest to engage with any of these stupid kids that come to my dojo. Gee,
Great. I
they're
feel like
all just so.
this is
What?
like the juiciest thing to me. And I'm like, okay, how can I support? And you're like, okay, how do
Stop
you
it!
at least do it? And I'm like, okay, well,
Stop! God, swear to God, Botox, Botox, and that caretaker. Be the thing, Alton. It's not about them. What are the? Do you, can you understand? I mean, I'm again generalizing. Can you understand how outside of Nolan's box it is? He's sitting next to a woman that I'm suggesting that he go put her on a table and get her naked, and the only thing that he has to worry about where he puts his hands or how he puts his hands on her, there's no consequences except he's gonna say, no. Do you know what must be such craziness happening in his skull right now? He's like, I could go to Vegas and buy that. But she's right there. She's sitting right next to me. She's a real live person.
I have a question. When I instructed earlier,
Tell me you did not just raise your hand. Please. Please tell me you didn't do that. Good God.
am I in this exercise, if I'm treating it like an exercise where I'm giving him permission to massage me, am I giving him instructions, like clear instructions on
Nope.
how I like to be touched? I'm just letting him, and then no, just avocado.
What's going to make him burn the brightest, Adelise?
Burn the brightest. I guess for
No guessing. No guessing. You stand on it. You have an opinion and you speak it as if it's the truth. And you own it.
it's yellow for me. Like it feels.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Fuck you, Craig.
Not on your best day. Not on my worst day.
Oh, thank you. That was nice.
This is the problem, Alton. is that there is a way for you guys to burn brighter. Given the opportunity, she's now backpedaling like a mad woman. She's not stepping into, I'm going to set myself on fire for this man. And by doing so, I'm going to set him on fire. We're going to have such an amazing goddamn fire. And then the timer will ring and it'll be over.
Yeah.
We'll move on to what's next.
How do I support this when you also told me not to support it?
Be a fire.
What would that look like for Alton?
I'll wear a dress and be the witness if you want. I don't know, get creative. If he's going to be massaging her, it works better if there's a feminine witness.
And she's
Yes, that can be arranged.
silent.
Hmm? Yes, she's silent. And here we sit. Bunch of adolescent wannabes.
My heart.
I'm still really with how do I support it while not caretaking?
By being pushy, by being, yeah, it's like, what the fuck you two were waiting for?
That's not
Hey,
sup-
Elise, you said you wanted to do this. You said you wanted to be part of a team. Why are you sitting on your ass? It's caretaking in a way that you're not used to. It's caretaking pointing at their strengths, not their smallnesses. You're really good at caretaking their smallnesses, Alton.
Ah, okay. I see that.
There's Kyle doing Kyle.
So letting your words in.
Hmm? What? Please tell me you tried to insult me. Please. No? Huh, damn. Usually when I'm at the slaughterhouse, this is what they look like after you put the 22 in their brain. It takes them a couple minutes to realize they're dead.
Okay. No, when you imagine asking Elise, what happens for you?
Yeah, massive amounts of discomfort, self-consciousness. I feel especially uncomfortable given that she said that was
Alton.
Yeah.
Ask her now.
I'll
Stand him up.
Elise right now.
No, not I want. Even if she says no, that's a win for him. Sitting in a chair going, that's not a win. That's Nolan being Nolan. Anything he does to take a step in this direction is a win for him.
Yeah.
You sitting there, letting him be who he is you caretaking his smallness.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay, great. And no action is taken.
Oh, try not.
Oh, really? Sitting down. Stand him up, Alton.
Literally stand Nolan up.
Get Nolan to stand up.
Well, I want to like settle next to him and like comfortably like, hey man.
You are caretaking his smallness. Do you think the man is incapable of standing on his own? Nolan has, Nolan, you can say avocado at any moment,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that's the safety word. Everything stops. You are always at choice, Nolan. And if they don't respect the avocado, kill them. Just off them. There she goes. You wait long enough, the universe makes the decision for you. So the point, Alton, is to say, stand up. Let me take your hand. Hades, turn the fuck around. Nolan, do it.
That's
And
not
he says, yay, nay, or avocado. But whatever happens, he has the experience of somebody holding him higher and harder than he holds himself.
yeah. Okay.
Because if he held himself that way, he would have done it already.
Yeah, there's a couple opportunities later tonight or this evening that I had in mind for this. But I see your
Oh, God.
value in doing everything immediately too.
So he's gonna go up and say, let's do this. And she says, there are no other feminines here. And he's like looking around and he's like, you're like, fuck this. There are feminines around. All I have to do is sit and be a witness to this. And you look around your place. Are there no women there? Fine. If not, go down to the street. Approach in there with somebody and say, hey, I'll give you $50 for 30 minutes of your witness time. You know? What a story to tell. Can you imagine Nolan going back to his social group and saying, you guys aren't going to believe this. I just massaged a naked woman. I touched every single bit of her with oil. I did it. No, I didn't pay for it. And he's going to be like, holy crap. And Hades is going to treat him like a human being. She's not going to expect to get married. She's not going to expect to have him buy her company or whatever the fuck it is. She's like, this is what human beings do. This is what partners do. This is what Navy SEAL teams do. We help each other get through our shit.
What's the importance of it being a feminine witnessing?
The psychology, you don't want two men doing it because you're in a patriarchy, for God's sakes. There's the safety and the
Right.
comfort and the knownness
Yeah.
that there's another feminine there who's
Yeah.
witnessing this. And so
It's
there's a made up belief of safety,
The safety of
comfortableness.
the feminine is what you're saying.
The safety of a compadre witnessing it. If anything really goes wrong, if she says avocado and he sticks his hand up her ass or something, hopefully the other feminine will jump on him or something. They'll be able to subdue him or something. It's important that you have in the high risk places that you have somebody who's more like you than the other person. Now, if Nolan came swishing in and he was ultra femme, okay, you'd want to you want him to give a masculine the massage, and you want a masculine because the masculine would tie to the person getting the massage rather than to Nolan. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm wondering about the scenario of the feminine feeling comfortable. Yeah, the feminine feeling comfortable with a specific masculine in the room.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go for it. I mean, if and again, I don't think Nolan is a serial killer or anything, but I'm trying you want as it starts, so it goes. So you want to start off as clean as possible and then continue the cleanliness. It's artificial. I agree with you. All of the exercises that you do, Kyle, they're way more effective if you have a witness.
Totally.
Because usually when you're doing one-on-one dances, you start to buy into each other's bullshit.
Yep. You have any recommendations on owning emotions?
You know what that means.
Like getting comfortable with shame
Practice.
or blame. Yeah, obviously.
What do you, as an adult, what do your emotions mean to you, Kyle?
Well, for me, they're information, but
Right. So how do you develop that relationship with your emotions? You still have to own them. Let's not forget that, young man.
I mean,
You haven't owned yours yet, Kyle.
I feel like I've owned
No owned.
quite a
Ask
bit
the
of.
feminines. Ask the feminines. Ask the ones who have more practice with their emotions than you do. Self-assessment in this area is not a good thing for the Addo mask. First, Kyle, you look at it and you say, there's no reason to be ashamed of shame. There's no reason to be anything about any emotion, theoretically. So if you have any thoughts and feelings about any particular kinds of emotions, they're kids. Okay? So you do the same thing you do with almost everything that's kid related. You do 3 speed bumps. If it's shame, you try to put yourself in a situation where the flame of shame burns as hot and as bright as you can make it. And you hold that space. You don't let it, if you have to let it externalize, then fine. But the practice is not to externalize it, is to have the hugeness of the flame. And all you're doing is you're pointing to your parts that had to put it away and say, inside this consciousness, we don't have to put any of these things away.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that sounds great. I'm wondering about evoking the emotion in the first place in a
well,
container.
it's a highly specific thing. You have to know people's history. It's much better if people come. I mean, I would, unless you're doing some high level nonsense, I would highly suggest that nobody try to evoke something from somebody else by being tricky or clever or insightful. The person that wants to experience the emotion should create the exercise. Otherwise, it's just mommy or daddy, doing horrible things to them again. You have to watch out, Kyle, for doing your brilliant diagnostician thing. You're good at it, but it hampers you. There's diagnosticians are a dime a dozen. People want to engage with you as a human being. They want permission to be a human being rather than a set of symptoms to be diagnosed by a diagnostician.
I mean, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I go around diagnosing people though.
Okay. How you doing, Nolan? You look a little shocky. Need some orange juice? A cookie?
I can use some orange juice. Maybe some tea.
Orange juice.
He just made a request, you two. One of you should be jumping. Oh, God. He's a guest.
Yeah.
Why aren't you getting him his orange juice or his tea?
I didn't hear it as a request.
He said, I'd like a cup of tea or some orange juice. I thought you were Asian, Alton.
I'm more on the spectrum, so like undoes the Asian parts, but I see what you're saying if I look for it, yes.
I'm sorry, Nolan. I apologize for their ill manners. Where did Hated Elise go?
Imagine she likes being found.
That's another good habit to break her of.
How can I do that?
Why don't you come up with a design and I will critique it?
Great. Well, I mean, my historical pattern is I just don't respond to them.
I don't care about your historical patterns.
Okay.
You're going to tell me how you used to poop in your diapers?
Yeah, good point. Okay, so I'll share the impact and the heartbreak when she makes
Oh,
herself
good.
unavailable.
Uh,
I will question how effective I imagine we can work together if that's something that happens as a pattern.
Why don't you just go find a riding crop and go over there and say, get your ass back in front of that camera. And if she says no, start whipping her.
Okay. Great. This camera might turn itself off randomly, and then we're just gonna switch it on here, but I want to do that.
Then I'll be here in the dark and no one will be sitting there. It's like, what the hell am I got myself into? How are you doing actually, Alton? I mean, sorry, Nolan.
Similar letters. Yeah, feeling some intense stuff that is somewhat paralyzing.
The intense stuff in and of itself isn't paralyzing. The paralyzing part is what your child thinks will happen if you start acting on that stuff. That's why you're paralyzed. And yes, I agree with you. I agree with that part of yourself that if you had acted on these things when you were a small child, you would have gotten the shit beat out of you or something like that. But now is not then.
Yeah, some discomfort. If Hadalise says it's yellow, then that's not something that I just, in terms of the container, would be happy.
The only thing that you're paying attention to is what? What word are you listening for?
Avocado.
That's it. She's a grown woman. If she chooses to engage with you in a yellow state, that's her choice. And you honor her by honoring her choice, not your ideas about what's ideal for her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Next, yeah, that helps.
Most of the time, people are trying to protect other people from saying no. They don't want to say anything that the other person will be forced to say no about. But as an adult, you want to know where people's things are. You want to know what a no is.
Yeah. I mean, my mind is already pretty blown by these practices, and I'm eager and intrigued.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I
It
feel
gets
like,
much worse.
thank you. I've been feeling pretty green. I appreciate it. Yeah, and even just feeling like I can feel imagining certain scenarios and just like full on resistance mode, but I haven't experienced anything like that yet.
Good.
Yeah. Have you ever had anyone vomit?
People vomit.
That's my worst case scenario.
That's about it. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's vomit. Yeah. I mean, I was a Navy corpsman. I've cleaned up more vomit than you could possibly imagine. Wipe more asses than you could possibly imagine.
Yes.
So practice now. Step further into the discomfort. Say something.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, I saw I guess one question I had for you that is in the back of my mind, and it's uncomfortable asking almost anything. I saw on a video from last week, And you mentioned you were here out of fear of annihilation, and as some sort of partnership with Alton, and I wanted to hear more about what that was.
I don't really have to understand things anymore. I just like, this is what's real. A long time ago, Alton said, "Would you show up for 2 hours?" And I found myself saying yes.
Okay.
He said, "What do you want me to do?" And he says, "Just be you." And I'm like, okay, it's not going to go well. And for some fucked up reason, here I still am once a week for 2 hours. And he brings people on, and I do Cray, and they do them, and something happens.
Have you felt it's gone well, Alton?
Gone beautifully and terribly.
Okay.
This is exactly what I'm.
I'll take that as a yes.
So, like, over there.
If anybody knew, oops, is he going? Are you going? All right.
I'm going.
Okay. I'll sit here with Alton then, I guess.
Your ask went perfectly.
My what?
Your ask went perfectly. Elise is
Nice.
topless on the couch with massage oil next to her.
Good. Does she have a witness?
Does not have a witness. I mean,
Then
we're
you should go
indirectly
start the
here. She's like
exercise.
within a witnessable distance.
Fine. I'm just going to lay out the best possible exercise that I can think of, and you do with it what you want.
It's beautiful.
Have you ever worked with jade?
The stone?
Yes.
I have not.
Have you ever polished jade?
No, I've had a jade bracelet that I wore for some time that broke. That was apparently
I
some
was
very
in
small.
Denver.
Yeah.
I was in Denver and I went to a Chinese art show. And the very first thing I saw when I walked in was inside this lucite box was a pale green vase. And inside it was a globe. Inside that globe was another globe. And inside that was a sphere.
Yeah.
And it was made of one piece of jade.
Yeah.
And many people were walking past it.
Yeah.
Many people did not understand what that must have entailed.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandma has one of those.
So
exactly what you're referring to.
And so people saying pretty vase doesn't really mean much, does it? From the perspective of the person who crafted the vase.
Yeah.
It didn't go perfectly.
It didn't go perfectly?
Nope.
Referring to?
There'd be a feminine witness. It went well. Now, if we hear screams and a really meaty thump, then it will have gone really well. As Hadelise hits him with something really big.
Yeah, I was imagining which way you were.
Now what?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. We have 3 more days. I'm like, wow. What a world. Really?
Yeah, but he's just exercise equipment for you guys. You think it's about him. It's not. It's about you guys.
And how we show up and evoke others in our world or not.
Yes. And so your guys are looking at it and saying, not what are my mechanical skills, not my pointing outs. What is the evidence of how people are taking on their lives because of how I'm being?
Yeah.
How you're eating your cereal, how you're taking crap from each other, how you're scared of saying no, how you're scared of raising your voices, you're scared of getting a no from somebody else. You guys need to be the Spartans. You need to show up as how you want these people to be.
Mhm.
Caretaking their smallness, I don't think that's something that you're wanting them to practice.
Mhm.
Every time that Alton does a caretaking of smallness, Kyle should hit that buzzer that has that little choke collar around his testicles. He'd stop doing that in under a day. How did you guys get to be so amazing? You really don't want to know. No, but I want to be as amazing as you guys. No, you don't. That's what the SEALs tell people all the time. I want to do what you do. No, you don't.
Mhm.
Just tell me how to do it. Nah, you're not going to listen. You guys have to be willing to do the things that has everybody go, holy shit.
Right. It's definitely
Italy's
happened to
is
some
doing
extent.
something.
That's definitely happened to some extent, which is how we're here to begin with now.
Yep. Italy's is doing something that I would believe most of the feminists out there get really ticked off about. So how does she speak about this as a way of empowering herself?
Yeah.
She's not a dummy. She's not some sex doll. She could be doing this from that inner child place of like, oh, I've got to do what the big daddy tells me to do.
Mhm.
I love watching
How
Kyle take notes in his head.
I'm just sitting with your maximalist approach, just diving off the
What's
deep end.
But make sure there's water in it, for God's sakes. Don't let little children dive off the high dive. You know, you got to have some sense of what their capacity is. Do you know what ohming is, Kyle?
Yeah.
We could have set him up with an ohming practice right off the bat. How well do you think that would have gone? Nope. So, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just the three of you?
Yeah.
Where's your piece of paper that says adult, irregardless of whether they're male or female, this is what they embody?
you did public face, private face?
Shut up. Shut up. If it's not on a piece of paper about the things that you guys claim to be up about, this is who you're trying to be. This is what you're modeling.
Mhm. Okay, so having the adult conscious on a piece of paper. What
Adults,
those
number
concrete
one, adults can talk about anything.
Yeah.
Number two, what is it? Number three, what is it?
Mhm.
Some of them go cross the piece of paper and say, that was a really stupid thing to put up there. So
Yeah.
what?
Well, we did agreements this morning as well, and a lot of them from
It's
Dojo.
not agreements. It's what's the
Okay.
model.
Adults can talk about anything. You've been programmed.
We
You
did
can
character
reprogram.
creation.
You're what?
We did a character creation. It's not like what do all adults do, but it's a version of that.
No. You want to start there. All adults, because that's going to keep you meta. You don't care whether they wear plaid or whether they wear polka dots. You know, you have the rules of the house.
Rules to the
These
house.
are, yes, this is the monoculture of this house. It's made up, and these are the rules that we play by. If you don't want to play by these rules, then don't play here. This is the playground rules, okay? Clothing is optional. That if that's what you want it to be, then that's what you want it to be. Now, if you say clothing is optional, you're saying all clothing is optional. If you want to say clothing is optional, but everybody has to wear pasties, then fine, that's what you do.
Mhm.
How do you run the house? I want people walking into the house and saying, God, how do you guys do this? I've been in community houses before, and blah, 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 blah.
Mhm. What are the agreements in the house? What leaves people in awe when they visit here? Great.
You want to be really clear that you have a temple going there. When people come in, they need to see that you are paying attention. And it sucks. You want to stay in bed an extra couple of hours and you're like, oh no, the Kiwanis from Minnesota are going, fuck, I gotta go fucking polish the floor again. God damn it.
Mhm.
You are the exemplars.
Mhm.
After a while, you get some acolytes in there and you give them all the scut work to do.
Yeah. Wow. That's rough. Yeah. Okay. We'll just upload another room to make it more possible. And seems like we're right on track.
Yay. Haley's did set a timer, didn't she? Probably
She frequently
not.
has someone else set a timer. So, I mean, the timer is implicitly when the stream ends, when the next activity is tonight.
Implicit. Guys, you gotta make the time container really fucking strict. No matter what exercise is happening.
We've been fairly strict with the time,
Yeah.
or we would. Yeah.
I
Totally
don't
agree.
care about fairly strict. I want it to be ironclad.
Ironclad. Okay.
Any exercise that is done has to have a strict time container. I don't care whether the couple wants to they fall in love and want to get married and have kids. The exercise ends when you say the exercise is going to end. You can always start another exercise. You don't want your crap running away from doing the exercise.
Okay. I agree. I have that in place for me, and I will see that everybody that I interface with will choose to do that too.
And you know what, Cray? Everybody in this house will have a strict time container on any exercise that they do, whether with me, with Kyle, with Hazelise, or with anybody else.
Yes. Great.
Everybody will understand that.
That is an agreement of the house and a culture.
You can invite anybody you want in to see that, but anybody that wants to play there, you get them to sign the house rules and you get them to sign the legal waiver.
Okay. Yeah, I just made another one of those today. Okay.
This is like
Visitors are welcome.
turning it into a community, like monastery training ground.
Yep.
I mean, the transformative living incubator seems
Yeah.
on brand for this.
Oh, that's much more nice. You get much more flies with that. Transformative incubator. All sitting around on big dinosaur eggs.
Yeah, awaken your giant within. Totally.
God. Jesus. The thing, Kyle, is that you don't want dilettantes.
How do you weed those out?
Have them sign a piece of paper.
And then when they
The-
don't
the
come up to
piece-
snuff, how do you have that
The
conversation?
pieces of paper are unenforceable. You really can't do anything, but it makes them own the fact that they want to do something here. If somebody spits on the floor, you're not going to blow their brains out. Or if somebody goes 1 minute past the time, you're not going to kill them. But it's the actual ownership. That's why when you go to a dojo or anything, you say, I'm doing this consciously. This isn't a lark. I'm signing up for the gym. Nobody can make you come back to the gym.
Signing
I'm
up for a
looking
gym.
forward to
Yeah, it's
getting
pretty
it.
straightforward. That's a beautiful frame. Yeah, we've been working towards
Yep.
it as like a gym membership. Relational Edgework Gym.
Yeah. And ideally, you'd have, you'd
Literally a
have
potion.
this is what this is what this gym is about. We're not Pilates, we're not Gold's Gym, we're not a Thai massage school. This is what you have a mission statement for the school or the gym or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then you can invite people over and you can explain to them what you do. They see the list of agreements, they see, whatever it is you want to show them, little testimonials. And they say, this sounds like a great idea. I'd love to try this. And you say, well, Kyle's teaching a 101 class tonight. But in order to get in, you have to sign these 2 documents. Starts at 6:30, runs to 8:30. There'll be cookies and tea at 7:30. And Kyle gets to be the front man. And in doing so, he's going to hone his craft.
Beautiful, man.
Nice
Corey,
vase,
you're so
huh?
smooth at this, and I'm confused why you continue to share with us that you're like not as fluent with like you
I don't
generating
do
this.
money.
You just say you're the product being sold all the time, and
Yep.
I mean, you don't do money. I don't understand that about you.
That's fine with me. It's like that clip you sent me.
Long-term games, long-term people.
Yeah, they are very clear about what they think success is.
Yeah. Winslow sent that to me with a beautiful note, and I was touched by that. And I'm interested in, from what you remember, what you see, some long-term games I could play in connection with Winslow might be, given all this context.
It's not, that's,
I have it that he loves living this work too, and he wants to have around.
I could theorize about that. And I don't do business. That's so let me see. Let me tell you a story. Okay. I told the universe that I wanted to understand what it was to be a human. And the universe replied and said, but you're not going to make any money at this. That's one of the conditions. And I said, okay, I'll trade you. I get to understand as best as I can what it is to be a human being, and I won't make any money at it. How's that? Does that satisfy you? Is it mystical enough for you? Should it have been at an ayahuasca ceremony?
I just don't
or
understand why
with me?
you buy that still, or I don't know. I have a
Because I
selfish
don't like
interest
it.
on
It's
having higher overlap of values with you, and I think that money is a useful tool to leverage for
it
increasing
is, but
impact.
all the ways that I've seen of making it are boring.
Yeah, well, and so I guess like you well positioned. You just said I'm the product being sold,
Yep.
and I'm like, okay, so
I'm like, I'll do immersions. I'm just not doing the footwork. I don't, at the peak of my offerings is what we call immersions.
Mhm.
And there was a point to where I was interested in doing them enough such that I found a place and I rented it and I made the food and I served the food and and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
If you guys want an immersion, it's going to cost you $1,500 a day for me, and you have to buy me round trip airfare.
Yeah.
That's it. And if the universe, and I am totally fine never doing another immersion.
Yeah.
And that's my agreement with the universe.
Okay.
Couldn't you decide to do it and just pay somebody else to do the heavy lifting?
No, I don't know. So
Okay, I'm interested in this.
In my understanding, Kyle, if I put it on, people come for an amusement park.
Ah, okay.
If other people put it on, they're like, there's something to learn here. There are pony rides, but I'm not going to go through, in my world, somebody's going to say, I am not going to go through all of this hassle to get that surly bastard here for 5 days and not get what I want out of it. And there's going to be, there's going to be 3 or 4 people that are going to say, as much as we hate him, as much as he's arrogant, as much as he's whatever, he has some really good points. Now, if Hadelise was at all in her power, she would say, that man rides me better than any other man I've ever met. In the face of his bullshit, I do things that I would never imagine doing. Why am I taking him 5 minutes at a time, at 5 minutes a month? See, Alton, that's the result of 2 hours a week for 3 years.
Yeah, and people are coming out from all over this guy paid $250 for Ubers and Lyfts just to like come out and hang out with me for an hour and a half yesterday. I was like, how is it? I don't understand.
Alton, why are you talking like that?
Also,
What's going on?
what would have happened if I'd had you for a week?
If I get blown
Yeah,
out completely,
that.
I mean,
No, your head would not explode.
I would be deeply impacted and we would have gotten here.
You'd be
in
very
a week.
different. Yes. Yes, that's probably right, Alton. And I will begrudge you those 3 years until I'm dead.
I love irritation. It's
But
one of
that's okay. Makes for a good dance.
I'm definitely getting present how
And
irritation is one of my kinks.
watching Linda crawl around her bed. Yay, team.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, Linda.
God.
You have like 2 minutes before Natalie and Colin arrive. Do you have anything you want to jump in with?
What do you want, Linda?
I'm just saying hi, trying to feel if I'm interested in this.
Oh, hi. Oh, yes. Make sure it's about your feelings. Just like that guy that's about to beat up the gay person or string up the ethnic minority. Let's see if I feel like killing somebody today. Let's see if I feel like raping a small child. Let's do the things that my feelings tell me to do.
I'm just wondering if this is supportive for me today. It's not about my feelings, but I might take a nap.
Yeah, go take it. Please, I'm begging you. Go take a nap, Linda, please, for at least 49 more minutes.
Hi, person.
39.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Natalie.
Are we muted?
Natalie?
Yeah.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Linda?
Yeah, where's
Oh,
Hadelise?
God.
I don't know where she went.
She's off getting her breasts massaged.
Oh, good. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I think she's muttering something.
Mhm.
She's currently on the couch.
Did Nolan survive?
He is trying to wash his hands and has come back to continue surviving more. Is what
Oh. What do you want, Natalie?
What do I want in life?
Oh, God.
I want to work more with Natalie. And I want Natalie to continue like just
You want to work with Natalie?
I want to work with Natalie, yes. I mean, I've already worked with
You
her.
don't have the balls to work
Co-founded
with
a retreat
Natalie.
series with Natalie already, like years ago. And it was fantastic.
Remember the vase, Alton?
Yeah, okay.
What's the pause?
Your opinion of fantastic means nothing to me.
What's the buzz?
Casting pearls before swine and having undifferentiated like acknowledgement doesn't mean anything to Grant. Yeah. We're 2 minutes this way.
Natalie, I'm here. I have 38 minutes, hopefully. What do you want?
That will, that way, yeah, it's the camera on top, but you can move the camera on top to team it.
I don't care about looking at Kyle.
Okay, yeah, I want to
There you
work with Natalie and Colin. I want to run at least monthly events here where they're involved professionally, and I want to have.
They're both highly
experience-
competent. They know what they're selling. They know what their product is. Why? What's your point?
I imagine you could support each of us in pointing out blind spots for how we could all work even more cohesively as a team.
No. They know what they're doing. Leave them alone. Let them go.
Sounds like a great blind spot.
Watch what they're doing. Natalie and Colin, do you work together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. They know what they're doing. They have each other's back.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay. Let
Wow.
them. So, Alton, give
Yeah.
them the space.
Okay.
Say, fine, what do you guys want to do? We'll help you as best as we can produce whatever you want to produce in this space.
Yeah,
Then critique it.
great.
Let them give them enough rope to hang themselves. You
Oh,
know,
well, now I have
give
some
them
content I can see, but maybe for the sake of time, I have 15 minutes till someone else is arriving loosely. 15, 20 minutes.
Classic Alton. Stacking functions.
Yes. Okay. Colin, can I share something?
Please.
Sometimes I have it that you have like a delusionally poor sense of self-worth than the world like would actually market rates have you at.
Like I undersell myself.
Yeah.
so Alton, straight to the point, without the mumbo jumbo. I think you're underselling yourself, Colin. I think, personal opinion, short, he's a masculine, I think. I'd bet money on it. Okay. He's going to appreciate the short opinion. He's in the rest of the flowery nonsense used for fertilizer. And I don't, Alton, let these people hang themselves. Okay. Give them, you're there to provide the space. Okay. To where they can now hopefully.
Great. I'm here to provide the space. What do you guys want to create?
Oh God.
I want to create something that also impacts like people in marginalized communities.
Oh, I'm
whether
so
that-
interested.
Hmm?
I'm
Who's
so
the person we should be focusing on in this relationship here? Natalie or Colin?
Colin.
We should be focused on Colin. Okay, Natalie's used to being pretty. She's used to talking nice. Colin has the testicles. He has the oomph.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
the
he's
parent.
not used to being listened to.
Mhm.
Colin, what the is it? Do you have a name for the place yet? Alton?
Do an M.
We had upward spiral retreats
Evergreen.
and
Oh
this
God.
home
Shut up.
evergreen.
Shut up, shut up. Colin, do you know what you want to do with this facility of theirs?
No, I mean it's the opportunity just arose like 2 days ago. We were completely
Okay.
unaware of the situation until recently. So we
Okay,
kind of
fine, fine.
yeah.
Go figure out what the space is that you need, what you want to do. Go talk to Natalie about it. Draw up a one-page document of some kind and present it to these fools. Now, I highly suggest that you check out the quality of these people because it looks like you can offer it. In my prejudice, it looks like you guys have levels of offerings. Okay. So you want to check out Alton and Kyle and Hadelise and whoever else is there to make sure that they have enough to hold a container for what your other levels might be. And then just draft a proposal and say, this is what we want to do. These are the dates we want to do it.
Yeah.
It's the
Well,
same.
I already know
It's
that.
the same
I want
thing
to
with
do it at
Nolan.
least every month.
Well, fine. Look, it's you may want all you want, but if they don't have a venue that they think is viable, they're not. Why would they want to kill their babies? Huh?
Well, I don't have it that you're attached to that being the same group of people every time. You
Mhm.
just want some event here every month.
Yes.
So there's a lot of openness for you
Yeah,
pulling in
exactly,
many
exactly.
different people who want to create different things.
Mhm.
Um,
And everyone being paid handsomely for being involved.
hence,
God. It's the same thing with Nolan. Let them say no. Don't shield them.
I feel curious about the two of you.
Oh
We
no.
don't have to talk
This-
right now, but I do feel curious about the two of you. That's the last thing I expected coming out of your mouth, actually. Natalie.
What
I've
was-
just marginalized communities, because what I find is in these conscious privileged circles, people don't give a fuck about some things that I have deep value alignment about, to the point that I've had so much, like, I guess, like, grief and apathy about, I just kind of hate these Conchi Healy circles. It's like people who, to me, don't have a sense of deep connection to their own self or culture, and then like go somewhere or try to like fill some black hole within themselves, or kind of like find a different culture to kind of attach to, and I don't know, or benefit from, or something like that. And I want to.
This kind of crap is going to kill you, Alton. What she's doing is going to sink your ship.
What is it?
This is you're speaking about theories. You're thinking about metas. We have no idea about Linda. We know what Linda thinks. We know about the group she thinks about, but anything. So Alton, I'm just saying that you want people who want to sweat. Okay? People who talk like Linda's talking, I'm not saying that she is this, but people who talk like that don't really want to sweat.
Alton doesn't want to sweat.
You have some.
I understand that. Yes. Wait. Yes, you are absolutely correct. That's why I've been here for 3.5 fucking years. Because Alton doesn't want to sweat. Now, I haven't been able to make him sweat. I'm good at what I do. But in 3.5 years, I haven't been able to make him sweat. I am hoping that if I get enough crazy people around him, that he's going to actually start sweating. I don't hope for it, but that's my plan, probably Q now.
Yeah, I think it's working. There's more and more people who are more and more outside typical Overton
He's
window.
not sweating.
Are we talking about like discomfort or work? What's your definition of sweat in this case specifically?
Anywhere from the belly down to halfway down the pelvis. Not intellectual sweat, but actual embodied sweat. Probably fear. Like, what is it? It's not so much that you point a gun at Alton and you point a gun at Alton. You point a strong feminine who's in strong reaction to Alton and he disappears. There's no sweat. I don't know about Natalie. I think Colin knows how to sweat. I think he knows how to stand in the fire, have the fire burning, and still be able to make a non-burning choice of action. That's just, an opinion. Kyle doesn't know how to do it. Alton doesn't know how to do it. If it's done in a pretty way, I think Natalie knows how to do it. So.
What kind of ship do you think Alton even has? Like, what are you talking about? When you say, like, this type of person is going to sink your ship, what kind of ship do you think Alton has?
Alton has the belief that he can be a agent for change, not for different, not for no, not in the same plane, but he thinks that he has the potential to get people to bump up a level. That's
Sure.
what he believes. And
I've
so
experienced him do that
if
quite
you
a bit.
don't know how to sweat, you can talk about the philosophy of it all day long. What I'm trying to do with Kyle, Alton, and Hadelise is to have them model that. How do you model you taking a step? Because that's what people want to see. They don't want to see you doing 2 finger exercises if they can only do 1. That's just more of the same. That's not going to set anybody on fire. Your social justice stuff, not going to set anybody on fire.
Well, what I wanted to say is like, listen, I'm not a social justice person, but there's some real fucking bullshit that I don't want to waste my time with. And there's a lot of that. It's just a
Isn't
ton
this part of it?
There's just so
Isn't
much
this
snake.
the bullshit that you don't want to be wasting your time with?
What?
Right now, what we're doing right now, isn't this bullshit to you?
Some of it definitely is.
Then go
yeah.
away. All right, Linda.
You think that you're doing something different, Craig?
No, I'm just doing correct.
Okay. um
Taking notes, Kyle? You better know how to deal with these, Kyle.
Oh, but
Because you are sitting in the home country of them.
have it impact a different time.
And if you can't have one of these types of adolescent feminines in you, and you can't do something so that something happens from their belly to the top half of their pelvis,
it's like
they're going to talk you to death. You have to give them an experience to where like, what is that?
We're going for like these really like more trauma, less money.
Yeah, that thing that's
like less violence.
in my understanding, there's something happening to her back in the back of her neck, behind her throat, but it's not landing.
I
There's
didn't really have an answer,
yeah.
but like when she said that, I was like,
Yeah,
that would be
I like Linda most of the time.
worth moving on. You know, that would be worth moving on. Like creating healing in those communities. But
That is not going to help, Kyle.
Yeah.
They expect movement. They expect dance. They expect engagement. You have to meet them where they're at and then try to have something different happen. So Linda's going to come at you and she's going to go, no. Yeah. All right. So the first thing you got to do is you have to go. You have to respond in the pitch that she's doing. So that gives her the, oh, I'm being listened to. And then you're going to have to try to do something to have a different experience show up for her.
when you say cray, when you say you're just doing cray, I mean
Oh, I have no interest in
still like
great.
something in that just feels like if you want
Linda,
Alton to
do you know
model.
what no, not me. Do you know what Chinese? Do you know what jade? Linda, the element jade, make jewelry out of it.
Right now.
To do.
I once saw a vase with a sphere with the globe inside of it, made from one piece of jade. Okay, if you've never dealt with jade, you don't realize that's 20 years of work.
So
your opinion about me is about as uninformed as I think is possible.
I mean, I don't know.
Wait, imagine
You don't understand what this is. You think I'm one of you. I'm not one of you.
I do not think that we're like, or that
Good.
you're
Stop
one of
judging
me.
me based on.
You try to
Stop
do
judging.
something.
Stop making analysis of me based on your understanding of you.
I want to hear what you're about, Cray. Like,
So it is. Like,
I have had a taste of it. There's 2 things going on
What
right
is it
now.
to be human? That's what I'm about. What is it to be human? And having the life you want to have.
How to integrate people back into a natural environment.
My attention is just divided noise wise.
Well, then focus your attention on something else and stop being distracted. Focus on what you want to focus on, Linda.
Oh, Zev
Oh,
is
you're
there.
good for my bill. Hmm?
Hi, Zev.
I want you to ask Craig.
Jeff.
Hey, can we like focus together, either like talk about what you're talking about or you talk about what we're talking about? I'm having trouble with feeling cohesion here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was trying to rapid brainstorm the question. Like, what do you want? In my mind, I would say, I mean, I would take more time to sit and reflect on it, as suggested, and like come back with the answer off the top of my head. The best thing I could think of would be to do something pretty comparable to what we're doing. The only difference I would say is to have more of a focus on integration into a natural environment. I've spent a lot of time like living in the woods, and that's impacted me in a really positive way, just being a part of an ecosystem. Like the sun is what tells you when to get up, when to go to sleep. And I think that doing things like this in a context where you're, say, doing sustainable agriculture or like have access to things like sauna, cold plunge, where it's like more body, like your body becomes aligned with nature in a way that makes these things easier, that facilitates these developments, and that those developments facilitate.
Can you write this in a document?
Sure.
And then I would shop that around.
Okay.
And I would orient towards these events as beta tests for that. Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. Adding onto it, I envision like living in such a way that the event is just coming and spending time, because it's learning by emulating and doing. And the practices are so integrated and ingrained, and we go pick
a monastery.
garden. Yeah, it's like a monastery that you're there to experience what it is like to exist in that way. And all the things that we do here are just part of a daily life.
I feel inspired by that. That sounds great. Could that be like the headliner on this talk? Are you able to do that over the next couple hours?
Upward Spiral Monastery.
Yeah. That sounds great.
They're not done.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, we could pull it together. I don't know.
We do it the next day?
Next day, yeah. But next couple of hours we got, I mean,
Understand.
if you still want dinner at 6.
That's ideal, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they said 6:30 or 6:70.
I mean, I feel like we had a late, pretty big lunch, so.
Yeah.
I think that 6:15 was written down, but.
Yeah.
It should be ready for them. That's right.
I'm gonna rush yet. I would just tell or inform Kyle and Haley and know. Okay.
I mean, 6:15 is still 30 minutes away. So.
Okay. I feel great about that. And I'm like fine with the loose container. Let's just say 6:45 and I'll tell them now.
Okay.
And I want to switch to stuff for that. But I love that
Yeah.
the next day. Does that feel good? Do you need me to put anything in place on like calendar stuff or not? But
remember how I said I need to do work and not get sucked into doing all the extra things that Alton's gonna want to do.
yeah. So you could say no, you could say that you could do the next day after.
By today's Wednesday.
It's just a one pager.
Yeah.
But like you basically
Can-
said like 80% of everything. Just
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. And Linda, if you do want to connect, I'd be interested in learning about you as well. We have to go
Are you
for the
sta-
dinner
Are you staying at the house there?
Yeah.
right now for this week, yeah. And we'll be around a bunch. So
Yeah, we
Okay,
live
cool.
like 20 minutes away.
You're in the North Bay.
Yeah.
we're in
or East Bay.
we're in the East Bay, but
Oh, great. Me too.
oh,
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Maybe we
Awesome.
can go to Ecstatic Dance sometime.
Yeah, maybe. I look at Grace. I
With Bill Craze, we
let's
must
talk.
dance and then do something else.
Let's talk. Yeah, I just feel struck by
World's
something.
on fire and
No,
let's go
what
to
you said.
ecstatic dance.
I concur.
All right, guys, I want to switch this over to
Do you guys
Zev.
wanna go
Thank
to-
you guys.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Right on. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Oh, you're so highly welcome.
If anyone wants to go to Israel, I am considering going. How are you, Zev?
God.
You have any interest in trying to check
I'm
out?
killing you, Alton. I
Yeah,
am
maybe-
fucking killing you.
Zev, please be interesting.
Oh my, yeah, that was fascinating. And I also just wanted to give Nolan a couple minutes to check out for, he stepped up and did the exercise.
Yes. And
Nolan, did you get an avocado?
no, I
Go back and do the exercise until you get an avocado.
Okay.
Because your black little heart is not going to be satisfied until you do something that has your victim say avocado.
Yeah, that's what I realized that like I
Goodbye.
got that. Yeah.
Goodbye, old Nolan. Come back when you've done the exercise. What?
How could I have supported
What
him?
did you say, Alton?
How could I have supported him with that?
You could have asked him the same question I did. Speak to his largeness.
Did you get an
What was the
avocado?
goal
And then
of the
no, and then
exercise?
keep going back until you get an avocado.
Yes, he's a newbie.
Do you want to like
He has a
reward
dark
the progress
side.
there as we're talking about like putting water in the pool for high diving?
Alton.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any simpler than this. It's a wading pool. You don't have to check. The worst thing that's going to happen is he's going to stub his toe on the sprinkler.
Okay.
He's a newbie. He knows he has a dark side. He's itching to try it out. He's afraid to try it out because of what happened to him in his childhood. So you try to give him the chance to do something that his dark side is like, and with an adult consenting whatever, then he gets to experience following his desire, meeting up with somebody's avocado and saying, oh, okay, I can do this. I'm not going to hell because some woman said avocado. All of a sudden, his whole universe in terms of dancing with the feminine will open up.
I mean, I'm with you on it. Okay. Any other exercise you'd suggest for Nolan for the next couple days?
No, he has to. I'm not going to give him two.
Great, one at a time.
freebies
Okay, I
in one
appreciate
night.
that.
Good
Okay, great.
Lord.
Nolan, Zev, and then we got 15 minutes to stop there. So I'm focusing on like stuff for Zev here. Thanks, and you're welcome to hang out or like listen in or just be in the space. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No one try to go convince Haley's that you need to do the exercise again. Apologize for being
Yeah.
such a wuss.
I will. Yeah, she's in the shower, but I'll do that when she's out.
Think go knock on the door.
oh, interesting. Wow,
That's
that's
okay.
I hope you're angry, Linda, but I doubt it. Yes, Mr. Zev.
Hi, Craig. Good to meet you. I don't really know what this thing is. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm a coach. What do you want?
you basically share with Gray what you want, and then magically you experience those exact outcomes in less than a couple months has been my experience.
Wow. That's pretty good. What I want at this moment is more ease in my body and mind. Feeling a lot of stress.
Stop lying.
Hmm?
Stop lying to yourself.
About what? Or is that just a general? Do you know what?
No, the thing that's causing the stress is that you're following your list of shoulds rather than what is alive for you. Your dis-ease is because you're following somebody else's rules for what Zev should be.
Yep.
Just just take a second, close your eyes, and just imagine that you don't have to do anything about it. Just imagine following your heart's desire. I don't like those words, but something like that. And see what happens to your disease. Don't listen to that little voice saying that you're going to end up under an overpass someplace. Just feel what it's like to follow who Zev is rather than who Zev should be. Zev, are you going to stay for dinner there?
Yeah.
Then I encourage you from, I don't know, for the next 2 hours, see if you can follow what Zev wants rather than what he should want. If you can do nothing more than identify that Zev wants the avocado salad instead of the tofu, that's fine. See what it's like. See if you can find in yourself the experience of what Zev wants, not the thing, although that's helpful, but you're trying to see what it's like to do the thing that Zev wants rather than all of those internalized authority figures telling you what you should want. The second half of that exercise is follow up on those wants. Don't do anything that's going to get you arrested or shot or stabbed with a fork or anything. But if it really is a choice between the tofu and ice cream, and Zev wants the ice cream, have the frickin' ice cream for 2 hours. Just follow what Zev wants. If you go into the kitchen and they say, would you like to help? And you're like, oh, Zev should help with dinner. And Zev says, no. Go with the no. They're nice people. They're not going to throw you out. They're not going to crucify you. Wrong religion, sorry. Be at ease with yourself, Zev. Be kind. Stop hurting yourself.
Ah.
And before you ruin it with any goddamn mental activity, just go and practice Zev. Stand up, turn around, go into the kitchen, and practice what Zev wants.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shut up, Linda.
Oh, Cray, so sweet.
Shut up. I told you to shut up. Jesus Christ.
Nice to see you loving him like that.
I didn't love him. You're see, there you go again. If you did that, you would be loving him. Yes, I agree with you. I'm not loving him in the slightest.
What's your experience of Zev?
I did what Zev, I did the right thing. I did the thing. I don't know.
What is your experience like in connection with Zev? Like, what are you doing when you're saying what you're saying?
I'm listening.
Oh, Cray.
I can't tell you what Linda's saying because we're on
Cray.
Facebook.
Alton, look at Cray with me. Look at how much love he has for him.
She's gonna get you in trouble, Alton.
Aw. Okay, love on Alton if you want.
No. I refuse to take orders from a woman that doesn't acknowledge her own hips.
Don't you think Alton could have a little love, or doesn't need it anymore?
He doesn't need love. He's got love his whole fucking life. He gets love all around him all the time. He needs a fire. He needs your hand with the riding crop. That would be really beneficial.
He's very resistant.
I don't give a shit. What wild horse isn't resistant to being tamed? Your job is to do just the opposite, is to take this tamed little panty waist and turn him into a stallion. You think you're going to do that without fire? Not a chance. You think you're going to do that with logic? Not a chance. You're going to think you're going to do it with like, let's go out to nature and da 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 da. I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, seriously, seriously.
Well, give me some tips. Alton, I find, is just like whiny and like kind of
Use a writing
I-
crop. Have him agree to 8 hours with you, and you get final say. And bring your instruments of torture.
Okay,
And he
great.
gets to bring his avocado. And remember, what you're looking for him to say avocado at the end of the 8 hours, not the minute he walks in. I know that your psychopathology wants to prove to a world what a panty waist he is.
8
But your
hours?
job is to, well, I guess Kyle knows you.
I don't actually think I have to prove anything about Alton to the
Well,
world.
then you will toughen him up instead of making him turn around and leave immediately.
Alton has
So-
so much shit that he can hide behind. And
I don't then
doesn't-
you're Linda, do you know what final say is?
no, I have no
Say
idea what
no.
you're talking about.
Final say is that you get to be the top, and the only thing that you have to avoid is him saying avocado. So if he says avocado, the exercise is over. There's
Does
no
Alton-
renegotiating.
Does Alton know how to
Yes.
use avocado appropriately?
That's
We'll find
not
out.
your concern. Oh, who said that? Who said that?
I said that.
Oh,
What did you
God
say?
Damn it! I was hoping
You wanted
you'd say
Alton.
that.
What did you say? I didn't hear.
I said you'll find out.
Oh, I see.
So that, Kyle, I would shove a hot poker up your ass because that's what you should have brought at the beginning of the goddamn call. You know that. I know that. Linda, the point is, and I would rescind it. I would say, Alton, could you do 2 hours with her, you think?
I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Alton, do you think you could survive 2 hours of her having final say?
Survive would be a good word for that. Yeah.
Yes, good. So the way you set up the exercise, Linda, is you have him meet you someplace and you start a 2-hour timer. And within that 2-hour timer, he's trying to be the most cooperative little bottom you've ever met. Now
Okay.
he may whine and cry and grimace, whatever, and you get to do whatever you want to do. And if you push him too hard or too abruptly, he'll say avocado and the exercise will be over.
Yeah, I'm confused why that's not just already generally the case. And I just like I balk or I like I'm not into whatever Linda's saying. I imagine she already has permission to push harder generally, and I'll just leave or say no if I don't want that.
You
And
can't
I think it's
leave,
already
Alton.
happened.
Alton, the only way you can leave is to say avocado. That's the agreement. That you're with her for whatever the time is.
Okay.
Now you can curl up in a little ball and she can spank you with a horsewhip all day long if that's what you want to do. Or you can be cooperative, or she can be, she can be nothing but nice to you. I don't know. It's up to Linda.
Who is this an exercise for?
Linda.
In my experience of Alton, I feel like
I
the
don't
avocado
care. I
is gonna
don't
come in,
care.
like-
I don't care. I don't
it's
care.
gonna come
I
in
don't
like
care.
10 minutes.
Well, then that
you
shows
know,
what a shitty top you are. You're serious. You can't think of a way for him not to say avocado for 2 hours? Seriously? You could take him for coffee. You could take him on a walk around the park. There's 1,000 things you can do to where he's not going to say avocado.
I find that Alton likes to just like
I don't care
Resist
what
to
Alton
resist.
likes. I don't care. This is your game.
You get to
What is
enjoy
it?
his resistance.
what's in it for me? Like 2 hours is a
You
long
get to see
time.
Your
how good a
sadism.
top you are. You get to see how good a top you are. If you want him to clean that filthy apartment of yours, then fine. That's what you want him to do. And he gets to practice finding his edge. Is she really, she's saying, I want you to wash those dishes. He could say, avocado. And he's like, I said I would stay into this for 2 hours unless I hit my edge. Now that it's practice for him is understanding what's the difference between I don't like this and this is my edge. That's his exercise. Just because he doesn't like what you're doing, why should he say avocado about that?
What's Alton's carrot?
I don't like
in
it.
it?
I don't know. He'll make you jealous. Are you kidding? Kyle being her bottom? Oh, that's a wet dream for him.
I'm trying to imagine any time I would find jealousy as like a strong motivation mechanism for me.
It's like you get to walk up, just practice it, Alton. Just imagining walking up to Kyle and going, I got 2 hours of her attention.
Socially,
How many hours have you had, Kyle?
that's what he said, tons of hours with it.
Not in the way he wants.
I don't.
Does she know that? Absolutely not.
I have it that Linda's kink to withhold, so we have two similar kinks, and I don't think that combines. It's my story.
I don't care. It's an exercise for you, not to find out where your edge is. If I don't even know if she can come up with it.
Yeah,
it's a masculine exercise.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I don't predict it's going to even happen, but I'm open.
Then fine. Then go see what happens. What's the worst possible thing? You're going to spend 2 hours scrubbing your toilet with a toothbrush, for God's sakes.
Well,
and Linda gets to see that she's
opportunity.
Yeah. Linda considers, in my world, Linda considers herself an artist. She believes that she understands humans. If she can't make you have an experience that you're scared of, that you come back begging for more, she's shit.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of evidence for that.
I know. And this is an opportunity for her to practice.
Like you said, it's probably gonna be like the flavor of the past, but I'm open to
Shut
try.
up.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Create her when you're listening.
Yeah. I think I feel especially time scarce this week, but yes, next week I feel. Okay.
Oh, how much? Linda, you have two masculines who are willing to put themselves into your hands. What you choose to do with that, that's up to you. You can make it sexual. You can make it cleaning your apartment. You can make it them sitting in a corner.
Oh, and we got the camera.
What happened?
Just ran out of battery. Oh, that is some terrible.
If you want more, Linda, you're going to have to rise to the occasion. You're going to not only have to get what you want, but you're going to have to do it in a way it's a carrot for them.
Camera.
And this is a reflection of the larger impact you want to make in the world. How do you get people to do what you want and then come back for more?
Beautiful.
Stop pouting, Linda, and start working out. So that, gentlemen, is what you're looking for in, oh, look at that. That is pretty freaking amazing. Wow.
Which is great. Acknowledge you for staying up later than you've ever done for these calls.
Okay, can I go? You're
You can
welcome,
go.
Linda.
It's incredible, man.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.